Do you blame China at all? The government of China. People are referring it to as, for example, the Chinese virus or the Wuhan virus or this and that. Do you think that's an unfair characteristic? And do you think the Chinese government could have done more to stop this? Do they hold any responsibility for this becoming a global pandemic?
To some degree, I would say, like in some way, this, I'm looking at the infectious property of this epidemic. It is so damn infectious.
Right.
Now, that said, uh, I am definitely not happy with what China did because they tried to silence Dr. Li Wenliang, the one who's the whistleblower. They gagged him, they forced him to shut up, they punished him, and
Why
eventually
would
he
they do
died.
that? They
Why would they
know
do
they
that?
know
Yeah.
about viruses. I mean,
Yeah, they
SARS
knew about this
originated.
virus. They
But why
knew
would
about this virus
So
in
what
like
do you make of
mid
them
December.
well, what do you make of that response? It's just they
Did
allowed it to spread, right? I mean, it's just
No
so
one
weird.
wants it, the instinct of government is and politicians is, oh, no, let's keep any bad news on the DL, right? And early on, they think that if they keep it on DL, it's like, I'll take care of it behind the scenes. We
Right.
don't need to panic the public. We'll take care of it.
I see.
And it's kind of like, think of like Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs go on these clandestine missions, takes care of the things that the U.S. public does not want to know, right?
Right.
Like, we took care of the terrorists. We don't need to tell people how close the terrorists got to getting the bomb, right?
What
I
is
got it.
what is the downside of panicking the public?
The,
Like,
the panicking is the political outrage. It's disruptive to society, but also it basically creates an error that these people are not competent. Oh, you let this happen, because oftentimes people have a tendency to blame any bad thing on whoever's in charge at the moment, and some things are clearly out of control. Like, for example, Katrina. Hurricanes, like, shit happens, right? But Katrina was a total botched thing. But early on in the Katrina, they tried to actually cover up how badly they botched Hurricane Katrina. No, it is just a tendency for people to cover up their missteps so that it doesn't look politically bad.
So you're saying that even though China made an effort to cover it up, this virus is so contagious. I mean, I and the very nature of it that it can infect people before symptoms show. I read something that uh, 500,000 people had left Wuhan in a diaspora around the world before China even closed its borders. So the probability of it getting out was high regardless.
Yeah, it was bad.
Let me ask
There's
you.
no getting around it with it. But I
Yeah.
do think China could have reacted sooner, and there's been many articles about it. So, could the China have reacted sooner? Yes. And could reacting sooner have slowed down the epidemic? Yes. But would there still have been an epidemic? I still think there would have been an epidemic, maybe a smaller epidemic. And now, are the Chinese numbers completely accurate? I doubt it.
Right.
It's just like, are the
But
U.S. numbers
are you
accurate?
implying
No.
that if China had acted sooner, we would have a situation more akin to SARS, where it kind of just disappeared eventually? Or do you think that this is
SARS was much easier to contain because it didn't have asymptomatic.
because you say
transmission.
there'd be a much smaller pandemic? So I wonder, what does that look like compared to what we're faced with today?
Well, we had swine flu
Less
pandemic
death.
in 2000, and we had the 2009 H1N1 pandemic. And we've had these, but again, some years they were more well contained, and the H1N1 could have easily overwhelmed the world as well had we not reacted faster. And Ebola could have been not contained.